In this tutorial, we will be explaining how to phase align subs using Smaart. We will discuss the concept of Smaart software and guide you step by step setting up the wiring, configuration of inputs and outputs, creation of transfer function engines, and many more. So let's get started. Today we will use JBL SRX 828P powered sub with SRX 828S passive sub. Generally, phase issues between our subs occurs when we use two or more subs which are not completely identical, either from different brand or maybe from same brand but different model. For this project, you will need an audio interface of at least 2 channels. We are using this Behringer UMC 404 HD, along with the measurement mic from DBX. I want you to pay attention at the wiring. Establish a connection between audio interface and laptop using USB cable. Set up a measurement mic. Connect the mic to the input one of the interface. Connect the left master out of sound card to the mixer using TRS or XLR cable. And right master out will go to input 2 of the same audio interface. To understand phase or time alignment, it is crucial to understand the signal flow. For the beginners who are new to this, let's understand how the signal flow. Suppose we generated a signal in the software on laptop, which travels via USB to the audio interface, then routes through the mixer, equalizer, DBX PA2, and amplifier to the speaker. Then the measurement microphone captures the signal, feeding it back to the interface and finally back into the laptop. The right master carries the same signal as left. This time we route the signal from sound card's output back to its input, returning to the laptop captured and saved by Smaart. Now Smaart has 2 signals. One is measured signal, which traveled all the way through our system components, while the other one is reference signal, which went to the audio interface and came back in no time, almost as it is, like it was sent. Smaart will compare these 2 signals and tell us what are the differences in the measurement signal in comparison to the reference signal. Similarly, we can pass this signal through a different sub or top and capture back in Smaart. Now we can see how late the signal from one sub is arriving from the other sub or top. Let's go to the Smaart software. After launching Smaart, you'll be prompted to select Configuration, create a new configuration. If you are launching for the first time, click on OK and continue to the I/O config dialog. Here we configure our inputs and outputs. In the upper portion of the Input tab of I/O config, select the device you will be using. In the lower portion of this window, select the input channels you wish to use for measurement. We are unchecking the input 3 and 4 as we are using only 2 inputs. Also give your inputs a friendly name, as that is what they will display as in Smaart. In input 1, we have our RTA mic. And in input 2, we have reference or loopback signal. You need to type the name and hit enter. We have configured our inputs. Now head to Output tab. The output 1 is going to mixer, and output 2 is reference signal looping back to the input. Click the Close button, and this will take you to the Spectrum Analyzer window. Here you can see 2 spectrum engines are automatically created by Smaart. Press the hotkey T on the keyboard to open Transfer Function window. To create a transfer function engine, click on plus TF Engine in the control bar. Make sure correct device is selected. Select RTA mic for measurement channel and loop back for reference channel. Give it a name. And click on Create and Close. Here you can see a new TF engine is created. You can change the color if you want. Press the hotkey S on the keyboard. You will now be presented with Smaart's real-time interface. Click on Signal Generator or press the hotkey G on keyboard. Select Pink Noise. Set level, we are keeping level at -20 decibels. Then click OK. Make sure you have the phantom power turned on. Turn on the signal generator. Click on the triangle run buttons to activate the spectrum engines and begin plotting data on the screen. Set mixer's master volume to unity and raise the channel fader about 50%. Raise the master volume of audio interface around unity. Then adjust the level of preamps of input 2 and input 1 such that it just hit yellow light in this indicator. Here, the signal in blue is the pink noise that we are sending, and the green one, hiding behind the blue, is the measurement signal which traveled through our system components. Our signals need to be between these two markers. Below this is the noise floor, and the mic will not be able to differentiate between actual signal and noise. You can adjust the banding to 1/3 octave and set the averaging depth around 6 to see the data without fluctuating too much. You can click on this triangle button and run all the TF engines at once. The data you are seeing on the screen is of passive sub. Here in the middle screen, we see the phase traces of our speaker. Click on Capture All to capture current traces. Change the color so you can compare it with new traces. Now let me mute the passive sub and unmute the powered sub. Run the TF engine again. Here, the line in red is the phase trace of passive sub, while green one is of the powered sub. Because the subwoofers are neither in time nor in phase, we must align them by delaying the early speaker. Since we cannot make the late speaker play sooner, we will delay the early speaker until it matches the start time of the late speaker, bringing them into alignment. So how do we know which sub is playing early and which one is late? Remember, the steeper the slope, the later the speaker. Here the steeper red line indicates that the passive sub lags behind while the powered sub is leading. Let's apply some delay to the powered sub in DBX PA2. You can see as we increasing the delay of powered sub, green line becoming more and more steeper and getting closer to the red line. We've maxed out the delay PA2 can offer, but the powered sub is still leading. This is because DBX PA2 offers only 10 milliseconds of output delay. So let's access the built-in DSP present in powered sub using Audio Architect software and add delay from there. I'm starting from 3.5 meter. Nope. Let's try 6 meter. Not yet. Let's try 7 meter. Parallel means they are in time yet out of phase. Here the green line is leading, while in this region it lags behind the red line. This is one of the cases where we cannot phase align our subs without inverting the polarity of one sub. Let's go back to 7 meter delay where they were in time. Here they are completely in time but out of phase, exact around 180 degrees with each other. So let's head to DBX PA2 and invert the polarity of powered sub. If you see closely there, phase traces are lying up on each other from 35 to 110 Hertz. Let's capture this trace as well. I'm satisfied with the results and will lock in these delay adjustments. While beginners may face initial challenges, practice is the key. Performing this alignment process 7 to 8 times is generally sufficient to build proficiency. In every session, you may encounter plenty of errors, like forgetting to turn on phantom power and spending hours wondering why in the hell these phase traces are unclear. But troubleshooting these issues and learning from each error is exactly what builds the confidence to work at any venue. While I've covered the fundamentals, if any doubts remains, drop them in the comments below. In the next video, we're aligning mains to subs. I hope you found this tutorial helpful.